Hello YouTube, what's up? Asian Trigger here. So this is pretty much my first place deck profile. Pretty awesome. This is a deck I got first place with at the tournament with about 20 people. If you want to know more about this deck and how I did, and check out my tournament report. It will be the video that I might have posted before this one. But anyways, let's start my grade 3 lineups. 3 Garmors. 3 Garmors is really good right now. It's pretty much just you play 1 Garmor in your Vanguard circle with your Cardfight Vanguard, and after that, when they'll sometimes attack the Garmor, just because if there's a charge goal behind it, they'll want to attack the Garmor. So keep another Garmor in your hand just in case. If they destroy that Garmor, you can just call another Garmor to the rear guard circle, which is pretty good. And then 2 Azels. 2 Azels is just enough, especially if you get the Superior right off with Criff and these two guys right here. When you get them off, it's so good because it's like pretty much a free. All it costs is this guy, pretty much, because you're riding this guy, and this guy's right on your field. So all it costs is calling one of these guys, which is pretty broken. So 2 is enough because you just search from your deck. The only way you won't get them off is if you have both of them in your hand, and then your SOL. And 2 of these guys, because 2 is just enough, because, well, you could play him and hit for 21, or you could play him and still hit for 21 with this guy. So it's pretty much even, kinda. So you have 5 consistent, 20k beater, almost, and then just your 2 boss monsters. And then you have your grade 2s. 2 Vivians. 2 Vivians is just enough. If you get them early game, that's good. Late game, I just drop them as shield because you're not going to hit. Unless you're playing Father Palace, then you can hit still. But, yeah. And I got a good place, mid-game setup that is really good a lot. And then you have your regular 10k beaters, which are amazing, especially the stand triggers here, because you would swing with them, swing with your Vanguard, and then check stand trigger, and then something else. And then you can stand this guy and give power to him, and then swing for another 15. And then you have your trips, which makes your Zell go off even more. Because let's say you have 4 damage mid-game, you counterblast 2 and you call something out. And then you hit with trip. 7 plus 1. Next turn you got 5 damage, and then you can get him off 2 more times. So it's pretty good. It makes you trip, allows you to use this guy and this guy even more, which is really, really great. Now, let's go on to grade 1s. 4 Halo Shield Marks. I added another one. Best call I ever made. I noticed that, later on when I really needed them, I'd get all 4 somehow. Fatal Trigger, when I played him, I really did use all 4, and it really did help me, and I did win. It was just completely insane. It was awesome. I just love Halo Shield Marks. 4 really helps. I'm never going to play 3 anymore. I'm just going to play 4 now. 4 in all my decks I play, because it's just so good. Especially with the current meta. You're really going to need to play 4 Flash Shields or no guards. And then you have your 4 Nimus. And I'll do a video on Nimue versus the stupid Slaggle Dagger later. People will say Slaggle Dagger versus Nimue, but I got a really good reason why Nimue is better than Slaggle Dagger. And then you have your basic 4 Gareth, which you will need because Criff and this guy, Ezel. And then you have your 2 Charge Tools, which go great with this guy. And then you have your 2 Trons, which go great with any of your Vanguards. Well, we're not gonna use these guys as Vanguard, but I'm talking about like early game when you ride this guy and you have one counter blast, and then you ride this guy, or you call this guy, and then you swing for 17 if you have more Vanguard, if you have more rearguard units than your opponent. Or you can ride a trip, call this guy behind it, and then have a Vivian out with Criff behind him because you didn't get your spear right off. Then you attack with Vivian. They're going to let it hit because it can't really guard much. And then if you do hit with that, you can now swing for 19 and unflip the damage that I just used. One of the plays I did during the tournament was I had a Vivian out, Criff behind him, a Trip as my Vanguard, and a Tron behind my Trip. My opponent only had 2 rearguards, 2 Vanguard units. So I attack Vivian, and Trip boosting her, I hit, and I flip check, and I get a Bowman's, and that was really good. And then I attack with 19, and then I unflip it, and I swing with another, and then I get a trigger as well, and then I add the power to this guy, and I swing with 15. It was pretty busted. Okay, now my grade 0 lineup. On my grade 0 lineup, I have the starting Vanguard, the amazing little lion. Okay, that's his name. It's a Crimson Lion Cub Criff. He's pretty awesome. Pretty broken too, especially with this, and this guy. It really builds an advantage over your opponent. And then I run 6 crits, 4 heals, 4 stands, and 2 draw triggers. And the reason why I changed it from 3-3 to 4-2 is because I thought that with a little bit more of these guys, help me stack more and get more hits in, which is true. These guys helped me out so much. So I found out that this trait layout is probably the best. So that's pretty much my first place gold Paladin deck. If you have any questions, please ask. There's a little comment section down below. So please like, subscribe, comment, etc. And peace, YouTube.